Hello, Boise State University students, alumni, faculty, staff, and friends. We are so thrilled to have you with us this afternoon for our annual Top 10 Scholars ceremony. We are coming to you live in what is our first ever virtual Top 10 Scholars Award ceremony. Even though we can't be together to celebrate in person, we are happy to have the technology available for us all to celebrate together apart. My name is Chris Canfield, and I am a graduate of the Boise State Honors College and Theater Arts Department from 2013. This afternoon, you will have the pleasure of hearing from the 10 of Boise State University's best and brightest students. They are innovators inside and outside of the classroom, involved in research projects, members of student organizations, and many have taken their studies outside of Boise. I can't wait for you to hear what they have to say. But first, I'd like to introduce you to Rick Stacy. Rick is a graduate from the class of 2000 and serves as the current Boise State University Alumni Association president, and he'd like to say a few words to our scholars.
Scholars for their amazing achievements, and thank all of you for your virtual participation in today's celebration. As a former Top 10 Scholar nominee, I understand the dedication and hard work that is required to receive this award. Congratulations to each of you for this amazing accomplishment. I also want to especially thank our title sponsor, Mountain America Credit Union. MACU continually shows its dedication to our community and Boise State University, and today is no exception. Thank you for your continued support. This event would also not be possible without the great partnership between the Alumni Association and the Honors College. I'd like to thank the faculty and staff of the Honors College, the dedicated faculty that made up the Top 10 Scholars Selection Committee, and our amazing Alumni Association staff for all of your dedication and hard work. I am also excited to announce that this year, for the very first time, the Alumni Association is giving each person in your graduating class a complimentary one-year membership. As alumni of Boise State, you are all now part of the Bronco family for life. I look forward to seeing each of you at our alumni events, and I hope that you will take advantage of the Bronco Alumni Network as you move forward with your careers. Congratulations again, and go Broncos.
Thank you, Rick. The Boise State Alumni Association is so proud of our Top 10 Scholars, and all of our graduating students. We are thrilled to welcome them into the alumni family. It is now my distinct honor to welcome President Marlene Tromp to our ceremony. Dr. Tromp, I know this is your first Top 10 Scholars event, but I want you to know it doesn't usually look like this. Dr. Marlene Tromp is the 7th president of Boise State University. She is committed to supporting students and faculty, serving and advancing the state of Idaho, and helping the university foster research excellence to increase discovery for its students and the world. Welcome, Dr. Tromp.
Congratulations to all our Top 10 Scholars on behalf of all of Boise State University. We know that an accomplishment this significant doesn't happen without a lot of support. And I want to acknowledge those folks who've done that work for you too. Our amazing faculty who challenged and inspired you, but also your family and friends, those people who encouraged you all the way along. What you've done is truly significant. Your files show incredible young people who've traveled the world and studied it, who've made discoveries and published them, who've challenged themselves and one another. You've truly shown what's possible when one seizes a university education. And this is an incredible place to do it. Boise State University has been ranked in the top 50 national universities in the country. There are thousands of colleges and universities, hundreds that are considered national universities, and Boise State is in that top tier of most innovative. And that's partly because of people like you. You've not only benefited from the innovation here, you've helped foster it with your incredible talents and the work that you've done. You should be so proud. As you look forward to your future, which we know will be bright, we hope you'll stay in close touch with us, because your contribution has not only mattered here, it will matter in the world beyond. We can't wait to see what you'll do. Please stay in touch with your university and your alumni association, because you are the model for what we hope to achieve at Boise State University. Our aspiration is that every student has the chance to have an experience like the one that you have, that every student sees what you do as a model for what's possible for them. So thank you for all the incredible work that you've done, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, President Trump. We are lucky to have your leadership and passion for students on campus. Now for the main event. As you can see, I'm coming to you live from the Valiant Production Studios in Boise, Idaho. In the next hour or so, we will get to travel live into the homes of our top 10 students and our 10 honored faculty members as we celebrate the accomplishments of these amazing students. Without further ado, I'm happy to introduce our first duo. Tyler Chapman is the first student from the College of Innovation and Design to win a Top 10 Scholar Award, and his professor, Anthony Ellertson, is going to kick us off with our first speaker tonight. Welcome, Tyler and Dr. Ellertson.
I'm Anthony Ellertson, the director of the Games, Interactive Media and Mobile program in the College of Innovation and Design. I'm pleased to be able to introduce and celebrate Tyler Chapman's selection to the Top 10 Scholars list for Boise State in the spring of 2020. I've known Tyler for 4 years as a faculty member and as the faculty lead for GimWorks, our student development studio. I first met Tyler in the fall semester of his freshman year. Right away, he impressed me with his intelligence and enthusiasm. In fact, I was so impressed with him that I asked him to be a peer mentor in his sophomore year. Tyler did a great job as a peer mentor, so much so that I asked him to join GimWorks. GimWorks is our studio where we take on projects for the benefit of the world. In the last 4 years, we've done well over 24 grant-driven projects, and for 3 of those years, Tyler worked first as a student developer and then later as a student team lead and lab coordinator. He had his hand in many projects, but the one that stands out the most is his work with Bronco Beam. Along with teammates Isaac Terrero and Olivia Thomas, Tyler helped create a GPS beacon system that alerts students with food insecurities on campus when leftover food is available after catered events. With many students experiencing food insecurity sometime during their college experience, I can't think of a use of technology more impactful for the Bronco community. Tyler worked very hard to promote the application here on campus and even started efforts to take it further into the community at large to feed the homeless and the hungry. This is exactly what GIM is about, using technology to solve human problems, and Tyler demonstrated that he understood how his academic community fit into the world around him. Tyler's done many other things too, more than I can name in just a few minutes. He was a member of the NASA Suits team, which is developing augmented reality solutions for spacewalks. He took that experience and expanded it into an internship with NASA itself in the summer of 2019. He has been a resident assistant here on campus, a project manager for the Venture College, and a senior sales manager during some of his early summers for a national company. As wonderful as all those accomplishments are, the most important thing to know about Tyler Chapman is that he is a good man. Grades, awards, recognitions are all wonderful things, but they pale in comparison when considered against a person's character. Character is what we carry with us. It's the most important thing. And I say again, Tyler Chapman is a good man, and I'm proud to know him. So Tyler, stand up and take your well-deserved recognition. Gim will miss you.
Thank you, Anthony. I'll keep this short, considering you'll probably hear more than you want to about me on Saturday. I do want to take a minute, though, to thank just a few of the many people who have helped me become who I am today. Anthony Ellertson, the person you just heard from, is the director of the Games, Interactive Media, and Mobile program. While his early classes I had way back when I was a freshman are what really sparked my interest in coding, it's really the work he's done outside the classroom that's provided those unique opportunities for myself and so many other students. Honestly, at least half the projects that allowed me to be speaking to you right now are because of the opportunities that Anthony has provided. Another person that's put in a tremendous amount of effort in order to ensure success for not just me, but countless other students is Dr. Krishna Pakala. I think if you search for professors on this campus who will give their left leg to ensure the success of students at literally no gain to them, Dr. Pakala is probably right at the top of that list. Personally, I saw this in its full light when he helped me apply for it and eventually write my commencement speech. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen, or I've never even taken a class of his, but even so, he's been a helping hand throughout my time here. I think that just goes to show the level of commitment he has to students, no matter where their passion lies. Before I sign off, I do want to take just a couple minutes to make sure that other groups don't go unmentioned. The staff in the CID, Venture College, especially people like Mike Sumter, Ryan Basso, Ed Zimmer, Heather Kimmett, and everyone else upstairs were constant role models and somehow put up with my many annoying requests during my time in GIM and Venture College as both a student and employee. Let's see, a few other notable folks are Zeb Biazon and Greg Corlett and the rest of the OIT team, along with Nicole Nimmons and Rich Weigel, who were huge supporters of the Bronco Beam project. And lastly, I need to give a special shout out to Eddie, Mike, Lee, and the rest of the NASA team, along with Steve Swanson, who gave me an opportunity to contribute to something that's been so impactful in my life. And of course, I need to thank my friends and family. They're definitely been the balance between work and play to keep me from locking myself to a computer for months at a time. While there's a lot more people I can list, I think I'm going to shut up now so you won't be even more tired of me than you already will be on Saturday. I just wanted to make sure that the people I mentioned were recognized for making me the person I am today. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Tyler. And congratulations on being selected as Saturday's commencement speaker. Next up, from the Boise State Honors College, we have Dr. Chris Heyer, and from the College of Health Sciences, Erica Corbell.
It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce to you Top 10 scholar Erica Corbell. Hailing from Las Vegas, I first met Erica 4 years ago as part of the Honors College Welcome Program. From our first interaction, it was easy to see the charisma that she had, the curiosity she pursued, and the passion she had for learning. And those attributes have only grown stronger over the past 4 years. I believe that it's these characteristics that will make her a wonderful and accomplished doctor. Yet why am I so confident that Erica will achieve her goals? Well, her resiliency. Focus and drive towards her goals does not begin upon her arrival at Boise State, but actually go back to when Erica was in high school. And they can best be encapsulated by a story that she told me about why she was interested in pursuing a medical degree. When Erica was in high school, she was playing in a flag football game with some of her friends when she dislocated her finger. Now, I think most reasonable people would have left the field and sought medical attention, but Erica's competitive spirit really came forth, and so she actually literally took matters into her own hands. She set her finger, finished out the game, and went to medical service afterwards. Now, when she got there, the doctor took an x-ray, confirmed that it was broken, that had been dislocated, and asked who had set her finger. Surprised, Erica communicated that she had actually set it herself. Now, the doctor was taken aback and said to her, "You know what, when you finish medical school, come back, let's talk, and I want to hire you." Oh, Erica was really surprised, as she had never really thought about pursuing a medical degree, but it really planted a seed. And I think over time that seed has grown into not only an interest, but a passion of hers. Now, during her time at Boise State, Erica has been involved in the campus, the community, inside and outside the classroom. Everywhere she has been, she's left a lasting impact. From her peers in their classes, to the professors that she's interacted with, to the patients that have been under her care during her CNA. And even the 10 kittens that she has fostered over her time throughout her undergraduate experience. Erica has been authentic and compassionate and been truly caring. I couldn't be more delighted or more proud to see Erica named a top 10 scholar at Boise State. I'm truly honored and humbled to be part of her journey. Ladies and gentlemen, top 10 scholar and future doctor, Erica Corbell.
I'd like to initially say how honored I am to be chosen to represent the class of 2020 as a top 10 scholar. Thank you so much to all the members of the committee for recognizing my efforts for this award. I am truly humbled and grateful. Boise State University has given me so many opportunities to explore my interests and gain versatile experiences, each contributing to who I am today. Alpha Omicron Pi and all of Panhellenic gave me the opportunity to cultivate my leadership skills while colonizing my chapter and holding various leadership positions. More importantly, I found myself belonging to a lifelong sisterhood filled with other outstanding, ambitious women who constantly support me. The numerous research opportunities on campus allowed me to accept a position at the Biomolecular Research Center. I was introduced to various laboratory techniques and equipment while assisting other professors with different tasks. For my senior internship, Dr. Eric Martin allowed me to gain survey-based sports psychology research while working with Boise State athletes. His guidance taught me how to design and carry out my own study. Attending the alternative spring break programs made me realize the importance of service and pursuing something bigger than myself. This helped solidify my belief that my life shouldn't be just about me. It should be used to support those around me and give hope to those in need. Through my education and unique experiences, I discovered a sense of fulfillment when I used my life to improve others. This idea of service inspired me to use my skills to help people recover during the most difficult time of their lives. Their career center at Boise State connected me with a recruiter from the Cascadia Boise Skilled Nursing Facility. Working here as a nursing assistant furthered my understanding of the importance of quality care and patience. All these experiences have helped me prepare for my future aspirations of attending medical school and becoming a physician. However, my achievements could not have been accomplished alone. Thank you so much to all my professors who answered my countless questions, gave me opportunities to further my learning, and encouraging me to persevere. A special thank you to my honored faculty, Chris Heyer. You're one of the first professors I met during the Honors College retreat back in 2015. Throughout the years, your courses have always helped me expand my point of view and encouraged me to think independently. I appreciate that you never made me feel wrong for speaking my mind. Thank you for always helping me put my best foot forward in my writing. You encouraged me to dig deeper and write more honestly and help guide my thoughts. I couldn't have done this without your support. Thank you so much to my advisors Erin Colburn and Tina Freeman for helping me reach my goals and always believing in me. Thank you to my friends and sorority sisters for understanding when I need to buckle down and focus and when I need to have some fun. Lastly, thank you to my parents and sister who unwaveringly supported me in my ambitions. You reassured me during times of challenge, cheered with me during times of success, and always had confidence in me. I don't know what I would do without you. Congratulations to the top 10 scholars and to the class of 2020. We've worked long and hard to celebrate this incredible milestone. We should all be proud of our accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Our next honored faculty member comes to us from the School of Public Service. Please welcome Dr. Scott Yenner, introducing College of Arts and Sciences graduate Austin Lamb.
Education is a mystery. People come to the university with native abilities, habits, and interests. The university offers them a smorgasbord of courses without giving much direction about what constitutes an educated person. Students then choose their way through the curriculum. 4 years later, they come out the other side with a credential signifying a certain level of achievement, conscientiousness, and self-discipline. I have more than once asked myself whether the students that leave the university were already good writers, conscientious, and self-disciplined when they came to the university. I ask whether the university has much of an effect moving the needle on these matters. This brings us to Mr. Austin Lamb. Mr. Lamb came to Boise State with lots of horsepower upstairs. He was conscientious. He's an achiever. He was self-disciplined. He knew how to please his teachers. The university may have moved the needle on Mr. Lamb, but it was not on any of these measures. If it did move the needle, it did so in two ways, both of which I think speak well of him. First, he loves to think, and he took the chance to think that was offered him. He asks the most basic questions in order to understand the world around him. This is a rare quality and a much-needed one. He was always asking me simple questions in class, questions like, "You said we cannot make a scientific argument against segregation. Why did you say that? And what does Machiavelli mean by good?" I cannot tell you how those questions frightened me and forced me to think on my feet in front of class. My guess is that Mr. Lamb came to the university as a lover of achievement, and he is leaving as a lover of wisdom. The second way the university moved the needle is that Mr. Lamb came to understand the greatest works of literature and philosophy, because they ask the most crucial questions of human and political life. If you want to understand love, you need to read Plato's Symposium and Tolstoy's Anna Karenina. If you want to understand modern democracy, Aristotle and Tocqueville. If you want to understand the relation between Christianity and politics, then read Brothers K. All of these books are hard, and all of them are means to achieve some perspective and gain wisdom on the questions that stir one's soul. I think Mr. Lamb's life would have been quite different had he not encountered the wisdom in our tradition of literature and philosophy. Mr. Lamb will attend graduate school after teaching a year in Montana. Why graduate school? His answer is that his life would be incomplete without further education, that there is so much he still needs to learn in order to be a complete human being. And that's a pretty good answer. Mr. Lamb is conscientious, he's an achiever, he's self-disciplined, he can write. He also has intellectual arrows, an increasingly rare quality. He loves to think, and I wish him well as he continues to do it.
Thank you, Dr. Yenner. To have you introduce me today is a fitting close to my time at Boise State. It was in your classes, the first truly challenging ones I found at this university, that I saw a way of thinking about politics and justice and love and life that goes beyond the reigning orthodoxies of our time. Political philosophy is something of permanent value, and I am blessed to have spent 4 years in its study. Today's honor gladdens me because it shows that the university finds it of value too. The occasional discussions of life's greatest questions and mysteries benefit us all, and the circumstances of my own life are such that these discussions are constant. I express gratitude for this every day, and hope that I have been made better for it. As I strive to become a professor of this discipline, I know that it is because I wish to share this value with others. I would first like to thank the Alumni Association for this unexpected honor. My particular gratitude goes to Lauren Hamilton, whose dedication to the association, to the Alumni Legacy Scholarship Program, and to today's ceremony rarely gets the recognition it deserves. I would like to thank my 7 little brothers and sisters, who have been a constant inspiration to me in my attempts to inspire them. I hope my achievement today tells them that they are capable of much greater things than I, and that familial love can overcome much of life's suffering. If I am a footnote in one of their biographies, I will be happy. Finally, I would like to thank my family, which has encouraged my virtues, indulged my annoyances, and censured my vices. Without such a pillar of support, God knows where I would be now, and I could not have been easy to raise. As my time at Boise State has approached its end, and as I have been looking toward this ceremony, I have been thinking about merit and about what awards like this mean. Awards, I think, are dangerous. To be recognized as a top 10 scholar is undoubtedly an honor. It is one of the university's most prestigious recognitions, and I am grateful for it. But the greater the award, the greater the moral hazard. We recipients might be so charmed by this great honor that we begin to value honor above all else in life. Worse, we might start to think that the world owes us such recognition, that we won this distinction not because we are good scholars, but because we are good people. To avert this danger, I have found it helpful to remind myself of the circumstances of my own success. In my case, the things beyond my control played a far larger role than my everyday feeling of agency suggests. I did not prepare for college and high school. I was offered full tuition at Boise State largely due to my experience as a foreign exchange student in Mexico. Here on campus, I learned valuable lessons. Leader probably chose to study because 2016 was an election year, and yet my engagement with political philosophy was nothing short of life-changing. No amount of determined foresight could have set this path. This is not to say that ability does not play a role, nor that openness to opportunity is worthless. These things are vital. Like my fellow recipients, this recognition comes as a result of a lot of some honest bootstrapping, but I did not make the boots, and I did not make the bootstraps. Talent, too, is given to you, and in the final analysis, it is not really yours. Thank you again for this recognition as a top 10 scholar. It is a powerful, humbling reminder to use my talents to cultivate the virtues that will build a better world for our loved ones, whether they lead to these kinds of awards or not. I hope it is the same for all of us. No one, after all, will read our resumes at our eulogies. I will leave my cohort with 2 prayers. I pray that all we top 10 scholars can use today to recognize our own achievements, to look back on all the work we have done and know that we have done well. We should delight in this moment. But more importantly than this, I pray that we have the moral strength to center our souls upon something that goes beyond honor and recognition, that we look back on the blessings of our lives and know that at least one somebody, a friend, a mother, a professor, or even God, has done well for us. Thank you.
Thanks, Austin. Up next, from the College of Engineering, we have Dr. Campbell and top 10 scholar Tanya Liu.
Hello, I'm Chris Campbell. I would like to introduce Tanya Liu, one of Boise State University's top 10 scholars. I've known Tanya for 3 years in the capacity as a course instructor and as an undergraduate research advisor. Tanya has been an exceptional student, excelling in both academic and in community outreach. She's participated in research in 3 different research labs, 2 of those at Boise State, and 1 during the summer of 2019 at the University of Michigan. She's also worked as an intern at Intel. She has a very clear and very strong desire to perform research. I was fortunate to have Tanya work with me on 2 research projects. Her efforts on the first project resulted in a publication in the journal Micromachines in October 2019. This is a rare accomplishment for an undergraduate student. Tanya's second research project involved the development of a thin film coating to protect pipes in supercritical water systems. We actually think this work is going to result in a future patent. Tanya's shown every characteristic of a highly successful researcher. I've seen her challenged to learn different subjects, learn new skills, and perform research independently. I've seen her work successfully both in team environments and alone. She's always highly personable and friendly and is well liked by her peers. In fact, both the faculty and her peers voted her the most outstanding student in electrical engineering last year. It was no surprise to learn that she was recently awarded a prestigious National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship to attend the University of Michigan starting this fall. In addition to her outstanding academic achievements, Tanya actively engages in community outreach activities. She's a leader and leading contributor within student professional societies, such as the IEEE and the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Tanya actively engages in tutoring students and has even created her own YouTube channel devoted to tutoring students in math. In summary, I would like to congratulate Tanya for her wonderful achievements and wish her happiness and success in her bright future.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campbell. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for logging today. I know we have some beautiful weather outside in Boise, but I hope you all are getting comfy with me at home. It's actually a surprise not only I'm a top 10 scholar today, but that I'm actually at BSU in the very first place. This past 6 years have been like a dream for me, not because it's so sweet, but because it has so many twists and turns that I think cannot be real. With that being all said, I'm still extremely grateful to be here today as one of the top 10 scholars. In 2014, I was about to start the senior year of a marketing management degree in China, where I grew up. Then twist number 1 happened. A weird situation with my mom's visa led me to join her in the US, in Boise. So I enrolled in an English as a second language program just to kill some time because why not? I had nothing to do at that time. But this did brought up a new idea, which is an old dream of me becoming an engineer since I was a little girl. During my class, twist number 2 happened. A BSU advisor happened to be there when I was having class and told me that I can just transfer from a community college to Boise State. Very simple, but I didn't know about it at that time. So of course, I still worried. I struggled because I missed my friends. I missed a comfortable environment I had in China where I do not need to get an engineering degree in my second language. But the chances, maybe now or never. So I decided to stay. Here comes twist number 3, restarting college all over again. It sounds like a very brave idea, huh? But realistically, not so much at all. I realized, oh my gosh, college is so expensive here. My mom makes about 4,000 yuan in China, which is about $600 a month. That can only pay for 2 credits. So I worked. I worked as a waitress, as a tutor, even an on-call interpreter. I worked as hard as I can, but still, I was all over the place. Luckily, I received scholarship and then joined LSAM, where I received HERC fellowship that supported me to do research on campus. I really enjoyed doing research, but I wasn't sure what can I do with it. Then twist number 4 happened. Still in class, the McNair director walked into my UF 200 class and told us about McNair program, a great, wonderful program that helps first-generation underrepresented students get into graduate school. I, of course, applied. And then twist number 5, 6, 7, and 8 all happened during McNair. I spent a summer doing research at Michigan. I also was accepted into fully funded PhD programs at Princeton, Dartmouth, and the University of Michigan. I received the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship, and now I'm a top 10 scholar. All of those would not be possible without McNair or Boise State community. The person I was when I left China could never have imagined the person that's standing in front of you right now. I'm quote unquote standing. So I want to thank everyone who has been in this journey with me. Thank you, Dr. Browning, for offering my first ever research position when I really didn't know what I was doing. And a special thank you to Dr. Campbell, who is my honored faculty today and has been the best mentor and professor who gave me so many valuable advices. And of course, Sarah, for giving me all the help and walking me through all those difficult times when I was applying to graduate school. And my parents for always loving me and be the best support for me. There are so many others I just cannot finish listing in a few minutes. And at the end, I like to take a moment and thank all the essential workers at this weird situation time, those including not only the healthcare workers, police, firefighters, but also all the local bankers, including my dad. I know you have been working like 12-hour days, even on weekends, to approve those paycheck protection loans. To be honest, I'm not a banker. I don't know much about banking at all, but I know each loan is not only for one business owner, but for all their employees and their families. So everyone, please stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you, and go Broncos.
The Boise State University Honors College is a great partner in this event and facilitates the final step of selection with our top 10 faculty committee. Many of our top 10 scholars are proud members of the Honors College as well. I'd like to welcome Kate Hipschman from the Honors College and Daniele Moro from the College of Engineering.
Hello, my name is Kate Hipschman, and I am honored and beyond proud to introduce my top 10 scholar, Daniele Moro. As his Honors College mentor and his fellowships advisor, I've had the privilege of working with Daniele on applications to prestigious fellowships over the last 3 years, helping him figure out what the best ways are to tell his story. And what a story he has. By the time he arrived on our campus, he already had experience in research and designing and documenting a STEM education program through his high school. Before his 17th birthday, he secured an NSF research experience in robotics at Carnegie Mellon. And by his 18th birthday, he had won a Goldwater Scholarship, the most prestigious undergraduate scholarship in the US for STEM students. Over the last few years, he has extensively researched machine learning and natural language processing at Boise State, founded clubs on artificial intelligence and virtual reality, maintained a 4.0 GPA, was a finalist for the prestigious Marshall Scholarship, and has undertaken competitive internships with Silicon Valley startups and Google, the latter of which has now hired him on in a permanent capacity once he graduates. Daniele has talent, of that there is no question. But even more than talent, more than just talent, Daniele has heart. For a person whose career and interests lie in machines and AI, Daniele is human-centered. He cares deeply about the relationships he builds and is eager to give back or pay forward any help that he receives. When the Goldwater Foundation put out a call to see who would be willing to help bring together their community of scholars and set up a platform for them all to interact online, Daniele was one of those students and scholars who answered. When Honors has needed volunteers for different events over the last 4 years, Daniele is almost always one of the first to sign up. He doesn't undertake projects to serve his ego. Rather, he simply responds to needs. When praised, he's quick to highlight others' contributions and acknowledge all that he still has to learn. With these qualities, I have no doubt that he will go on to have a positive impact on the world, just as he has had here at Boise State. Daniele, May you always be as passionate, caring, and curious as you have been these 4 years at Boise State. I will deeply miss our conversations on life, the universe, and everything. Of talking with you about AI's potential to improve the human experience, or teasing you about creating our future robot overlords. You have grown so much as a thinker and writer, and I am incredibly proud of you. Congratulations, and I wish you the absolute best.
Thank you so much, Kate. I had finally finished the problem set for my machine learning graduate class when I noticed something strange. On the last problem, my solution didn't work in a certain condition. Although I knew that I would get an A, this little error itched me because I couldn't explain it. Peeling back layers of mathematical proofs, I proceeded to spend the rest of my weekend on this one problem until I found my explanation. The question itself was a paradox. I contacted the professor and explained how the question was asking students to do something initially obvious, but fundamentally impossible. I know, the professor responded. I purposefully wrote it to see who would go beyond simple application and uncover the theoretical foundations at play. My homework assignment not only showcases the quality and depth of classes at Boise State, but also the following principle. Large errors are obvious, but small errors arise from deeply buried problems that at their heart reveal the most fundamental of truths. In an effort to arrive at these hidden explanations, we build the most valuable kind of expertise. This process mustn't be applied to only technical challenges, but all aspects of life. During my time as president of the IEEE student branch, I worked with my officers to organize quality events with expert speakers and complimentary pizza every week. But on the weeks we were unable to offer free pizza, very few students showed up. We initially dismissed the problem, joking that free food is the only reason college students do anything. Trust me, as an Italian, I love pizza. But after some thought, I asked myself, instead of building a community of engaged members, were we instead building a community of pizza fanatics? We quickly changed course, and by the time I started the AI Club the following year, I made sure that we would never serve pizza at a club event ever again. Because we chose to look deeper to explain a simple problem, we were able to build a much more engaged and valuable community. Not only did this pizza fiasco teach me to be a better leader, it also showed me how much I still have left to learn. After I became a prestigious Robotics Institute summer scholar, I was driven to make the most of this opportunity and asked the director what they saw in me. She said something along the lines of, "We chose you because you showed incredible potential and drive. But to be honest, your application was the most cliche I have ever read." I wanted to tell myself that as an engineer, writing is an insignificant skill for me to master. But instead, I realized that she was right. I had to become a better writer, and I got my chance when I applied to the prestigious and nationally competitive Goldwater Scholarship. I couldn't have done it without the mentorship of Kate Hipschman, the Honors College Fellowship Advisor. As the best writer I know, she went out of her way to making me keep restarting my drafts, each one better than the last. Through much hard work, I grew my abilities to share my story, ultimately winning the Goldwater Scholarship. Searching for the why behind even the smallest of errors can lead us to answer some of the biggest questions in the universe. When I started doing artificial intelligence research with Dr. Casey Kennington, I was amazed by the complexity and intelligence of modern AI systems. Witnessing models become more intelligent every month, I reasoned that I would be creating my own sentient robot after a few years. Yet I was shocked when in one of Dr. Kennington's research meetings, we discussed an algorithm that can make advanced image recognizers think that any object is an ostrich by changing just one pixel. You could shrug this off, saying, it's only one pixel, and who cares about ostriches anyhow? But digging deeper, the problem exposes how little we understand of the nature of intelligence. Through Dr. Kennington's mentorship, I am now a seasoned researcher who aims to dedicate his life to solving this problem and building AI for the benefit of everyone. During my time at Boise State, I've learned the importance of paying attention to unexplained errors so that I can challenge my assumptions and arrive at a sincere understanding. I'm so excited to take everything I've learned into the next chapter of my life as a full-time software engineer at Google, where I will be doing research in artificial intelligence. Thank you so much to the Alumni Association and the Honors College for this great honor. And thank you immensely to all the mentors who have helped me become the scholar I am today. I would like to give a special shout out to my honored faculty for teaching me how to share my stories, Kate Hipschman, my research mentor that began my love for AI, Dr. Casey Kennington, and the mentors who have made my time here so incredible. Pam Aislinn, Dr. Nancy Pollard, Dr. Stellian Koros, Dr. Umalatha Bachu, Sean Purser Haskell, Dr. Claudionor Coelho, Dr. John Matea, Dr. Elisa Barney-Smith, Dr. Eduardo Serra, Dr. Krishna Pakala, Rachel Burson, and so many more. Thank you to the Honors College, the Alumni Association, the Computer Science Department, and Boise State University for all of your invaluable support. Finally, a sincere thank you to my family and my girlfriend, who are the rock upon which I stand. Thank you all.
Thanks, Daniele. Good luck at Google. We are going to continue our celebrations in the College of Engineering with Kendra Nunman and her honored faculty member, Eric Janikowski.
I'm so thrilled and proud to introduce Kendra Nunman as a top 10 scholar. As a hammer thrower for the track and field team, Kendra won awards, including the Mountain West All Academic Athlete Award. As a leader in Tau Beta Pi, she won the Laureate Award, which only 4 of were given out across the nation. And as a student researcher, she won a Blue Waters Petascale supercomputing internship. Kendra wins these awards because she's a go-getter and because she's a finisher. Kendra's such a go-getter, she started working in my lab before I'd even taught a class at Boise State University. I'm serious. On August 10th, 2015, Kendra emailed me asking for a research position while she was a high school student. And a week later, I was sending paperwork for her parents to sign because apparently there are laws against child labor, and I had offered a job to, legally speaking, a child. A year later, we submitted an application to that computing fellowship, which she won, and which required us to submit a paper on our work together. 2 weeks ago, Kendra submitted her first authored manuscript for peer review into the Journal of Computational Science Education. And this paper is a special one because it is 3 years late. And I love it because it encapsulates what's best about Kendra. It advances knowledge to help others, and it's here because she didn't give up. She's a finisher. Being 3 years late doesn't happen because everything was easy and went the right way. But we don't usually get to see that in the finished product of something like a paper. There's not an acknowledgement section of the breakup that threw everything into a tailspin. There's not an introduction explaining the day screaming into a pillow when the results don't make sense, when the internship fell through, when the job offer didn't come in. There's not a method section describing how to balance school, hammer throw, research, and being a kind human, and gathering yourself up and submitting the document 3 years late. But it's all in there, 3 years late. And that's what I'm most proud of when I think about Kendra, is her persistence in the face of real challenges that very few get a peek at. Who submits a paper 3 years late? Kendra Nunman. She's a finisher. And now as you head out to graduate school, go get them and go Broncos.
Thank you so much, Eric. 4 years ago, I attended this event as a freshman here at Boise State. I was a part of the engineering living learning community where Krishna Pakala told me I needed to go see these amazing top 10 seniors. I was in total awe of the accomplished people on stage, thinking to myself, I want to be up there someday. I'm incredibly honored to be receiving this Top 10 Scholar Award, for which I'd like to humbly thank the Boise State Alumni Association for their time and consideration. Getting to this point took a great deal of hard work, but hey, at least I finished. But I definitely couldn't have done it alone. I'd like to start off by thanking Dr. Eric Janikowski, who is my honored faculty here with me today. Like he said, when I was 17 years old, I sent Eric that email looking for research experience. Truthfully, I had no idea what he did. I had zero experience, and I wasn't even sure where I wanted to go to college yet. Eric gave me the incredible opportunity to work in his lab for 5 years, but he was also an amazing mentor, helping me through some of the hardest moments of my life. And if it weren't for working in that lab, I wouldn't be going into the field of data science. I wouldn't have met all of the amazing members of the lab, and I wouldn't be the confident scientist I am today. Eric, thank you so much for being an amazing mentor. We truly have no idea how much I appreciate you and how much you've impacted my life. Next, I'd like to thank the entire athletics department at Boise State. I wouldn't be the athlete I am today without the hundreds of people working tirelessly to support our athletes. To name a few: Savannah, Tyler, Stephanie, Matt, Jared, Jay, Cody, Taryn, Sarah, Brooke, and all of my teammates. I'd also really like to thank the coaches I've had. Grant Wall for teaching me how to throw a hammer, sparking my passion for track and field. Scott Murray for showing me that I could be a really good thrower with practice and determination. And Andy Green for helping me find the confidence to be the best thrower and person that I could be. I'd also like to thank all of my amazing professors for inspiring me and putting up with me in class every day. My wonderful parents for supporting and encouraging me in everything I chose to do, even if it was crazy. My grandparents for their wisdom and advice. And my amazing friends, Claire, Ariel, Olivia, Monet, Monica, Spencer, Hayden, Katie, Jordan, Kendall, Ryan, Aditya, and Kyle. Lastly, I'd like to thank another mentor of mine, Dr. Krishna Gopakala, who encouraged and supported me through the entirety of my college career. Whether writing recommendation letters or cheering me on at track meets, Krishna was always there for me. Attending this event 4 years ago, I was incredibly inspired by the 10 people standing on that stage. And I feel the exact same way today, looking at the other 9 honorees on my computer screen. Hopefully we can inspire the younger people watching us today and continue to make Boise State proud. Thank you again so much to everyone, and go Broncos.
Thank you, Kendra. Our final duo from the College of Engineering is Kaylee Novick and her honored faculty member, Dr. Brian Jaques.
Well, hello. First of all, I would like to say thank you, and I'm honored to be able to introduce Kaylee Novick as the 2020 Top 10 Scholar. My name is Brian Jaques, and I'm an assistant professor in the Micron School of Material Science and Engineering. Similar to myself, Kaylee is a product of the Treasure Valley, and this community is lucky that she chose Boise State to obtain her bachelor's degree in mechanical and biomedical engineering. As you are aware, she has excelled in many ways during this opportunity, or I wouldn't be able to introduce her to you today. I've known Kaylee for a little over 2 years since she began performing research with me in the field of nuclear material science and engineering. As a result of these efforts, she has drafted and submitted a manuscript to the Journal of Composite Materials as the first author. In addition to the research she has completed here at Boise State, Kaylee spent the last summer at the Idaho National Laboratory with international experts researching in-pile, which means in the reactor core, instrumentation, and that's pretty cool. During her undergraduate tenure, Kaylee has been able to effectively juggle multiple responsibilities. She maintained a nearly 4.0 GPA while serving as the president, that's right, the president of a nationally recognized and undefeated Boise State University debate team, the Talkin' Broncos. She is also an active member of the Society of Women Engineers, the Tau Beta Pi Engineering Honor Society, the American Nuclear Society, and the Honors College. A very notable accomplishment of Kaylee's, which must be celebrated, is her devotion and passion to STEM outreach. This has been exemplified by her initiating and coordinating a program to increase STEM awareness and opportunities at local high schools. In this program, called the STEMinar program, she joins STEM professionals with high school students to encourage them to further investigate opportunities to further their education. Kaylee is aware of the advocacy needed to engage her generation, as well as the younger generations in STEM. She is also on an impressive mission to educate and encourage the public to support the mission of the Department of Energy and nuclear energy advancement. She is a strong advocate for nuclear energy and understands its necessity for the future energy demands of our country and our world. Kaylee is a very collegial student who's eager to learn, hardworking, and focused. These are just a few of the reasons that she will be joining me and my research group to pursue her PhD starting this summer. Again, it is my honor to introduce Kaylee Novick as a 2020 Boise State University Top 10 Scholar.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations to my other fellow Top 10 Scholar honorees. Today, I finished my last final of my undergraduate career. As the weight of earning a bachelor's degree is lifted from my shoulders, I feel like I can finally breathe, until graduate school starts at least. My last final happened to be in Psychology 101. And yes, I was one of 2 seniors in this course, typically taken by students in their first year of college. Surprisingly, I found this course to be interesting and sometimes academically challenging because it was different from my traditional engineering classes. One thing that resonated with me through this course was the fact that human development and the way that we establish relationships with others is neither 100% nature or 100% nurture. While this is a fairly easy concept to understand, it helped me reflect and identify the person I am through my experiences at Boise State. I arrived at Boise State 4 years ago, naturally being driven by the want to leave my mark at this school and the desire to be an engineer. However, I never knew there would be so many individuals that would greatly impact how I left that mark and push me towards the path of being a nuclear scientist. I would like to take a moment and to thank some of those individuals. I would first like to thank my honored faculty member, Dr. Brian Jaquist. I have been working in the Advanced Materials Laboratory under the direction of Dr. Jaquist for the last 2 years. And during this time, Dr. Jaquist helped me get an internship last summer at Idaho National Laboratory. He mentored me through writing my first publication, and I would especially like to thank him for the hours he has spent editing my various applications, including the one for this award. I would also like to thank the students who work alongside me. They are the reason I'll be staying at Boise State a little longer by pursuing a PhD in material science and engineering with an emphasis in nuclear energy and policy management in the fall. With my degree, I want to be able to support novel and innovative nuclear research through helping our Congress write legislation that aligns with the Department of Energy nuclear energy mission. Now, I want to be seeking a career path in nuclear energy. If it wasn't for amazing engineering leaders like Dr. Amy Moll, who encouraged me to embrace being a female in a male-dominated field. Thank you to Dr. Plumley and Dr. Bacala, who are amazing faculty members in the mechanical engineering department. Dr. Plumley told me 4 years ago that I was going to be a top 10 scholar, so he obviously must be psychic. Thank you to all the Boise State professors who came and talked at Columbia High School for the seminars program I co-founded this previous school year. Thank you to the Honors College, especially Emily, for our quick 15-minute Honors College updates, where I would talk for 14 of those minutes, giving you just enough time to ask me how I did it all. And thank you to Paulina. I am so glad I took your Honors 498 class. It gave me a space where I could be honest about how I felt being a woman in engineering. Moving away from engineering and academics, I would like to thank Dr. Amanda Hicks and the debate program here at Boise State. In case you didn't know, Dr. Hicks has led the team to win 5 speech and debate national championships. I played a lot of sports growing up, but I never had a person push me towards success the way my coach has. When school sometimes felt unbearable, Coach would sit me down and tell me that this period of my life is short. You will never be as busy as you are now. That advice right there got me through every 18 to 20 credit semester. So again, thank you, Dr. Hicks. I am so grateful that I was coached by you. I also have to give a huge shout out to my teammates and other coaching staff because they are and always will be my second family. Next, I would like to thank my friends I've met while in college. Who knew that you could find your college besties in Honors Calculus 1? Thank you, Rachel Singleton and Tyler French, for getting me through calculus and constantly re-explaining the chain rule to me. However, please don't ask me what the chain rule is now because I still couldn't tell you. I also have to give a huge shout out to my best friend, Amelia Tai, who lived with me, had every class with me, and still chose out to hang out with me in her free time. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents and family who have been my bases, holding me up and never letting me fall. So going back to the understanding of human behavior from my psychology class, each decision we have made while being in the college has been influenced by both nature and nurture. To be a top 10 scholar, we had to make some important decisions. We chose to come to Boise State to get a higher education. We sometimes sacrifice sleep for projects, midterms, and finals. But we still found time to be an avid community member, both on campus and in our local area. Each of these choices were impacted greatly by our beliefs, our mentors, and our surrounding environments. I am so glad that I chose Boise State. I am proud to be a Bronco, a talking Bronco. Thank you.
We don't often hear from an entire college in succession, but that's just the way the alphabet worked out for us. Congrats to our College of Engineering winners. Up next, we've got Emily Pape and Dr. Brian Wampler from the School of Public Service.
Good afternoon. It's a real pleasure to be here on behalf of Emily Pape. Emily's an extraordinarily gifted individual. She has a keen analytical mind, helping her to thrive in her undergraduate major. global studies, as well as two very distinct minors, Spanish and economics. I first got to know Emily when she was a sophomore at Boise State. She was applying to go to Spain. She chose not to go through the normal Boise State route, but enrolled and found a university in San Sebastian and enrolled as a regular full-time speaker or student in their university. When she came back from Spain, she stopped by my office hours in September of 2018. At the time, she was taking a course with me where she was doing quite well, but she came in to see if she had research opportunity, if I had any research opportunities. She told me that she was interested in doing work outside and beyond the classroom. Fortunately, the School of Public Service was able to provide research funding, and I was able to hire her. It was fortunate for me because Emily proved to be an excellent research assistant. I just quickly discovered that she, as a junior, had the capabilities of most graduate students. I was able to assign her work which would then be incorporated into my own work. So for example, over the last couple of years, one of her main activities has been writing literature reviews, essentially taking a 30-page article and condensing it to 2 pages, which I could then use as I was working on different projects. As I was developing new research lines, this was an incredibly valuable asset to our team because I could work with Emily to have 10 articles that she would review, that she would then return to me, and I could begin to incorporate the key insights from these authors into her work. Over the last 18 months, I think Emily has probably done 60 to 70 of these reviews, and at a certain point, we've got to where she's actually now writing analytical essays to help us as we advance our work. So Emily, as a research assistant, has been phenomenal. But it's also beyond the classroom where I find her work to be quite admirable. It seemed for a while I would go to university meetings or call school-wide meetings, and Emily would be there as a student representative. While at Boise State, she helped found a student club for our new major, Global Studies. She was involved in several of these committees represent at the School of Public Service. And I discovered as I asked her to do things that she couldn't do them because she was also playing lacrosse. So she has a very active life. Emily is a thoughtful, engaged, curious student scholar. She's planning on attending the University of Chicago in the fall to pursue a master's in public administration. I have every confidence that she will excel there. I also want to note that Emily is a student scholar who's interested in trying to deploy her skills, develop her skills in order to try to solve key problems. She's beginning to think beyond Boise, beyond the Treasure Valley, beyond her own life, to think about how her skills can be used for the public good, to improve the public good. So Emily, I'm very happy that in September of 2018, you stopped by my office to see if I need research help, because you've been a tremendous asset both to my research, but also to the School of Public Service, because you've been a real key voice as a student leader within our new school. So thank you, and I think this is a well-deserved honor.
Thank you, Dr. Wampler. Despite our virtual setting instead of the Stickle Sky Center, this really is so cool. My mom was a top 10 scholar almost 30 years ago, so I guess this is just one step closer in my quest to be more like the smartest, most incredible person I know. However, I didn't always appreciate the role that Boise State would play in my life. I stepped onto Boise State's campus 4 years ago sure of one thing. It was not, under any circumstances, the place for me. Forgive 18-year-old me, but I was convinced that ending up going to college State's my hometown was nothing short of failure. I had merit scholarships, membership in the Honors College, and a position on the club lacrosse team, sure, but none of that mattered then. I had been forced to settle for university practically in my backyard. My dorm was even in a different zip code from the house I'd grown up in. Plus, blue and orange? No. I spent most of my freshman year wallowing in self-pity. It took an honors college summer study abroad and then some to get over myself. I was walking the street of Oxford, England, great place for a humble epiphany, college, when he said something that tilted my arrogant assumptions about what I was owed in a college experience upside down. Though I don't remember what it was verbatim, it had something to do with imploring me to look around at all of the opportunities I've been given, and was enough for me to realize just how wrong I'd been. Outside of readjusting my evaluation of college as an experience, Oxford also offered a taste of the ivory-towered ideal I held going into freshman year. Our classroom discussions spilled over into dinner with my classmates and walks with my professors. I was able to dig into meaning of life, death, college, in a way I ignorantly assumed would be impossible within a Boise State context. I met some of the smartest, most grounded people throughout that experience, and my expectation of what these 4 years were destined to be shifted completely. Boise State finally began to feel like home midway through sophomore year when I returned from a second study abroad stint, this time in the Basque Country. I dove in the way I should have freshman year, finding incredible opportunities I wouldn't have had access to at any other university. In addition to studying abroad twice, I had an intern at a political consulting firm, worked in the governor's office, and held 2 different research positions in the university. Through involvement in the Honors College, club sports, Greek life, student organizations, football games, game nights, and all of the parts of college that make up the everyday, I found my sense of self. Maybe it's the relentless exposure to that blue and orange. Maybe it's just being 22 instead of 18, but I know who I am now, and that includes being a Bronco. I wouldn't be me without Boise State, and that means I wouldn't be me without all of the organizations and people who have made my past 4 years here what they were. The Honors College with Dr. Finstwin, Dr. Woods, Anel, Chris, and Emily has nudged me to examine both what college means to me and to the rest of my life. The Alumni Association, especially Lauren, has bookended my experience here, from the Alumni Legacy Scholarship I received as a freshman to this Top 10 Scholar Award. The School of Public Service and the Idaho Policy Institute have fostered my intellectual curiosity and provided amazing opportunities for research that impacts real-world decisions. Dr. Brian Wampler with Global Studies pushed and mentored me to become a better student and critical thinker than I ever could have achieved through classes alone. Finally, to my parents, who read to me and my sister every night, fostered a love for learning, and taught me how to fail with grace. I couldn't be prouder to be your daughter. One of the most winningest college football coaches of all time once said, "If you're not good enough without the awards, you'll never be good enough with them." It's an honor to receive the Top 10 Scholar Award, but Boise State has formed me into someone who knows the value of my work and who I am without needing plaques or trophies to define it. But man, this does feel good. Thank you all, and as always, go Broncos.
Thank you, Emily. We love multi-generation Broncos, especially when they turn into multi-generation Top 10 Scholars. Keeping us in the School of Public Service, I'd like to welcome our next Top 10 Scholar, Savannah Willits, and her honor faculty member from the College of Business, Dr. Islam.
Hello, my name is Samia Islam, and I'm an Associate Professor of Economics at Boise State. Savannah Willits has been a student of mine for the last few years, and I have gotten to know Savannah through her coursework and also through conversations that we've had outside of class as well. And I'm very, very proud to have known her, to have had her in my class. She is a dedicated student, very, very hardworking, and her work ethic is almost second to none. And she is from Idaho, so Savannah represents the best of Idaho, what Idaho has to offer, I feel. And so therefore, this honor that she is receiving today, I cannot think of anyone more deserving, like I said. If I were to describe Savannah in one word, I would use the word passion. Savannah doesn't do anything half-heartedly, and I admire that about her, and I sometimes aspire to emulate that, because you need to be very brave to do that, to live your passion, and I think Savannah does a very good job of living her passion. Urban issues, urban studies is a passion of hers, and I wish her every success in the future as she trailblazes in her career, and I know that she's going to do great things, I have no doubt, and I wish her all the best. And I'm so happy and so proud of you, Savannah, and I'm honored to be here for you today.
I'm incredibly honored to be chosen as one of Boise State's Top 10 Scholars. Thank you again to BSU and the Alumni Association. If I were to describe my time at BSU in 3 words, it'd be connection, collaboration, and community. First, it was the connections rather than silos between the disciplines of urban studies, economics, and history that led to insightful discussions, skills, and really a well-rounded experience. More importantly, it was the interpersonal connections that made my time meaningful, especially with professors and role models. Thank you to Dr. Amanda Ashley, Dr. Jennifer Stevens, Dr. Julian Maroney, Dr. Kelly Myers, Tracy Day from the Intensive English Program, Kate Huseman from the Honors College, and of course my faculty mentor, Dr. Samia Islam. All women who took the time and effort to befriend, challenge, and encourage me. It is because of their leadership, advice, support, and connecting me to different opportunities is the reason I'm here today. The second pillar of my experience is collaboration, especially in the context of unprecedented opportunities, like doing archival research and exploring industrial sites in Seattle during the inaugural Urban Field School, or interning and finding the best dumpling place in Taipei during the first Asia Biz Tech, as well on a local level through WorkU. Thank you to the urban faculty, like Dr. Ashley, to Jackmar and Mufana, and Lonnie and Megan for creating and operating these innovative programs, and really being able to hear out critical feedback from students. Their ability to align students and faculty, businesses, and government agencies is phenomenal, and I'm so thankful and proud to be a pioneer in this sense for BSU. The third pillar of my experience is community. Thank you for all the close friends I've gained during my college experience. I've loved our adventures, our conversations, and answering all my questions, and of course the metaphors. Thank you to the first generation of the urban cohort. Your camaraderie, comedic timing, and insight is unparalleled. And thank you to my family, including my extended family, for instilling in me the value of education. Upon reflection of community and connection and collaboration, the other three words that sum up my experience is, thank you, BSU.
Now I'd like to introduce you to our final pair. From the Honors College, Dr. Shelton Woods, and College of Arts and Sciences student, Georgia Zakist.
It is my distinct honor to speak about Georgia Zakist, a remarkable athlete, student, friend, and human being. She's from Auckland, New Zealand, and in her senior year of high school, she was recruited at several U.S. Division I schools for a swimming scholarship. She chose Boise State based on several things, including an effective, affable coach. She has absolutely thrived at Boise State, completing 4 years of Division I swimming and graduating with a 4.0 GPA, and she is now on her way to an impressive law school. When the Boise State swim coach moved on to another school, Georgia persevered and kept her athletic career in perspective due to her growing ambition to develop her mind and relationships. Her vocational calling is to make a difference in the lives of disenfranchised peoples. This comes in part from her experience. She is the daughter of a Latvian refugee who was born in Sweden in the aftermath of World War II. The family immigrated to Australia rather than being forced into the Soviet Union. Her father married a fifth-generation New Zealander. Georgia's formative years were spent at a school whose motto was, "By love, serve." And this too has made her into a woman determined to help those in society who are often discounted. While at Boise State, Georgia has devoted her limited spare time to help at-risk populations, serving as a mentor, role model, and swim instructor for underprivileged and refugee students. Because Boise is a refugee resettlement city, a movement has begun to build an Idaho Museum of International Diaspora. Georgia also participated in a service learning project related to the launch of this museum. No matter where she is living, she seeks the welfare of the weak. She desires to maximize all the skills and gifts she has to make the world a better place for all. Georgia has won many awards that she does not mention. She was a semifinalist this year for a Rhodes Scholarship. She spent this past summer in Geneva as she was accepted into the notable Geneva Summer School for International Law and International Humanitarian Law. The list can go on, but I must stick to 3 minutes. I first met Georgia when she arrived in Boise on a very cold, late December day. Everyone on campus was gone, and she had to find her way to Chaffee Hall, so far away from home. That was 4.5 years ago. Since then, she has grown tremendously intellectually and personally. But her foundation is really in New Zealand with her family, Louise, Yuri, and Allegra. I know that they are proud of you. We certainly are, Georgia. Congratulations on earning this prestigious Top 10 award.
Thank you, Shelton, for your kind words. As you just heard, I'm Georgia, and a member of the Boise State swimming and diving team. Since arriving in Boise, the most common question I have been asked, apart from, are you from Australia or New Zealand, is how did I end up here, of all places? The crazy thing is that it was almost all by luck, or perhaps fate. Not knowing much about American college athletics, I decided in November of my senior year that I wanted to swim in college, something that is impossible to do in New Zealand. By the beginning of December, I had graduated, and by Christmas, I was on my first flight to the United States. Given the short turnaround, I'm not surprised that my parents were a little shocked when I came home one day and announced something along the lines of, in a few weeks, I'm going to move halfway across the world to a city called Boise that I've never heard of, to a coach that I've never met for 4 years. But don't worry, it looks pretty on Google. I laugh about this now, but my instincts about Boise were right. This is exactly where I was meant to be, and so much of that is thanks to this community. Boise State has given me an incredible gift. Not only have I been allowed to fulfill my dream of swimming collegiately and been back-to-back Mountain West Conference champions, but I have been given a family in Boise, the Bronco family, that has cared about shaping my future far beyond athletics. Immediately welcomed into the Boise State community, I have spent my time here surrounded by coaches, teammates, advisors, mentors, and organizations that value my self-development. With a support system that has always viewed me as more than an athlete, I have constantly been afforded opportunities to develop my leadership and interpersonal skills while paving a clearer career path. Much of this came from learning the power of leadership through service to others, whether that was taking part in Make-A-Wish fundraising efforts or assisting refugee children with settlement through swim lessons. I was also fortunate enough to be a student representative for Bronco Life's Female Professional Development Program, which created a mentorship program between Boise female business leaders and student athletes. Through these experiences, I saw not only the beauty of the Boise community, but the power of athletics as a platform to contribute positively to social change. Seeing the power of this platform has helped me to recognize my interest in human rights and public interest law as platforms to advocate for social justice. Once again, I have the Boise State community to thank for this. Surrounded by incredible resources, I was put in the position to spend a summer in Geneva working with the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and other young leaders to tackle contemporary human rights challenges. Returning to Boise, I was given the opportunity to develop diversity and inclusion initiatives for the Idaho Museum of International Diaspora and the Boise Metro Chamber. With these experiences, I am heading towards a legal career that is so much greater than myself and anything that I had imagined. More than anything, my path is a reflection of the people I have been surrounded by and the power of Boise State to motivate and grow students. While I cannot dismiss how thankful I am for the constant support and love from my family and those I care most about, many of whom are watching from miles away, my time at Boise State has asked me to consider who I am and who I want to be. Here, I have been challenged, I have been asked to question the world, and most importantly, I have seen the power that an individual can have in shaping community change. For this, I thank Boise State University. Thank you for challenging me and for letting me be a part of the Bronco family. Thank you for making Boise home. It is an honor to be a top 10 scholar.
Congratulations again to each of our top 10 scholars. We are very lucky to have you as members of the Boise State Alumni Association. Best of luck to each of you in your careers and personal journeys. To our guests tuned in this afternoon, thank you so much for attending virtually and supporting these excellent students. We look forward to having the opportunity to see you all again in person, but in the meantime, the Alumni Relations team is working on some other great ways to connect with you virtually, including our annual Alumni Member Appreciation Barbecue. Check out the Alumni website for more information. Go Broncos!